In this lesson, we're bringing out the resonator for some finger picking in open G. This one's super gritty. I think you're gonna dig it. Let's get to it. Institute, and this is your Tuesday Blues, where every single Tuesday we cover a cool aspect of acoustic blues. And in this lesson, we're going to jump right in and help you out with this finger picking piece in open G. So make sure you're tuned to open G, and then let's get to it. First things first, I'm playing this finger style, so I've got my thumb taking care of the 5th string and the 4th string. You're going to see that a lot, where there's some kind of rolling through with the thumb, and then the only other finger I'm using on my picking hand is my index finger, and it's really taking care of every note on the 3rd string. And really, those are the only strings that we're going to use for this piece, all right? So this is a really good piece to help you kind of isolate your picking and get some practice at a quick pace even using your thumb and index finger, all right? So let's get into the note for note. So we start out open 5th string. You can let it ring, no palm mute necessary here. And then roll through and hit the open 4th. Then put your finger, doesn't really matter which finger, you could play this rhythm figure with just one finger even, but put your finger down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. That's the B flat, so it gives us a nice minor vibe, real bluesy to this G chord part. Put a tiny little blues bend on there. I'm barely pulling that sharp. Okay, I don't even know that would be classified mathematically as a quarter step bend. It's just a tiny microtonal bend that gets us a little bit of a cry, a little emotion on that B flat. That's what we're looking for. And once you're at the top of that bend, we'll call it, bring your index finger back to the top of the string and just put it there just to mute it out. All right? And then the next thing you're going to do is, with that index finger, pluck the open 3rd string. So you get this kind of effect. Sounds really cool to stop that 3rd string at the top of that bend. Again, it is very slight. I'm just kind of putting a little cry on it, and then choking down with the index finger before hitting the open 3rd string. And back to the 4th open, and back to the 3rd open. That's half of this rhythm figure that repeats throughout. The second half, what we're going to do is climb up from the B flat, but this time on the 5th string, 3rd fret, to the C. All right, but there's some notes in between. So we're going to roll through and hit the open 4th and 3rd in between. All right, and the way I'm playing them, outside of what I just did right there, is thumb, thumb, index. And it gives you kind of this rolling feel, especially when you go thumb, thumb, index on that open. These two are kind of low-key, they're kind of hanging out without a lot of dynamics, but it's setting the stage for the pop of the 3rd string. And that really helps to add some rhythmic contour to this thing, some dynamics in a word. And give this some life, okay? And that's really important when you're relying so heavily on rhythm and running it through a 12-bar blues progression like we're doing here. All right, so listening to the whole rhythm figure, 1 bar. Let's slow it down. can be a cool little exercise for you to practice to get your coordination going and even build up some speed with your finger picking. And we're not using a lot of fingers. It's thumb and index finger here. All right. Now on bar 4, there's something that I want to do that's a little bit of a nice little treatment at just one tiny little spot. Okay. And it's just to add a couple of dead notes in there, a couple of just little percussive sort of chunks, right? So they're going to come right there. And I'm just laying over strings 4 and 3 and just muting them out. So I'm still plucking the same with my picking hand. But it gets kind of that chicken picking vibe happening just over 2 strings, 2 notes here. So not terribly into chicken picking, but just that sort of dead, percussive, muted sound. That's what we want here. And then we open it back up with that tag ending. So we've got this at bar 4. All right, and I just stopped it there just to emphasize. All right. And I want to say this before we go on and learn the 4-chord and the 5-chord parts and finish out this progression, is that, that's just one little tiny example, but you could take that muting and really just kind of sprinkle it into the rhythm figure, and it really kind of adds some nice special sauce to the mix when you're playing over 12-bar blues, because you hang out on the 1 chord for quite a lot of time musically. Even get extra funky with this. So now we're going to talk about bar 5 and what we're going to do over our 4-chord, which in the key of G is C. We're going to slide into a C note here on the 5th fret. Now, don't let this fool you, because C is usually here, but we're in open G. We've altered the pitch of this 5th string down, so to find our C, we got to come up by that same amount, a whole step, 2 frets. So here's our C, and I want you to play it with your ring finger, and then put your little finger behind it on the 4th string for a G note. So we've got a cool C, the root in the 5th there, and we're going to throw another chord tone into the mix, this B flat on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. All right. So that's not a full C7 chord because we're missing the major 3rd, E, but we've got enough to kind of get this bluesy dominant 7 vibe, and we're going to work with that here. All right, and the picking is really similar to what we've done before. We're going to slide in, sure, but then the rest of it kind of follows that same pattern and the same rhythm. All right, so it's almost as if we weren't on there. Right, that's the same. We're just sliding and holding this chord. To match that and finish out this bar 5, we're going to hammer up instead of sliding again into our C. So we slide, and here we're going to slow the picking down. What we're going to do is hammer into the C, hit the G, hit the B flat, and then back to the G. So we've really just slowed that down to kind of let it breathe a little bit. Then we do our slide again. And for the second half of this measure, we're going to launch into a pretty flashy lick. All right, so I'm not moving around the fretboard a lot, but it's flashy in the sense that we've got this descending pull-off, double pull-off run right here, starting on our C note, 3rd string, 5th fret, pull off to the 3rd fret, and then pull off again to the open G note. So we're doing that, kind of thinking in this C7 position that we've been in already. And that double pull off is fast. So if you need to practice it, I do want to encourage you to do it with your little finger. So just do this until you can kind of get some speed going. And what we're going to do is use that speed to start this lick, okay? After you hit the open 3rd string, come to the G. So we got a G here, but then we're going to put that little finger down on the G, 4th string, 5th fret, and then back to another open G. All right, so we got a lot of G happening right there, G, 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 but the rhythm is really cool, and you get a slightly different edge on the sound when you've got the open string versus this. All right. All right, so after we do that, we're going to go back to the 3rd fret 4th string. So this is where you can kind of lose the chord form. And pull off 3 to open, so our F to the open D. And then finally, the B flat here, and then the open G again. And really, this note puts us right back into G, where we can do our rhythm figure. All right, but practice getting that down. It might take you a little bit, and no worries if it doesn't come to you immediately. Take some time and work on this to get it down, to get your fingers built up and ready to do it. And if you can't get there, but you still want to play this piece, what you can do is substitute what we're going to do later on over our 4 chord. It's a little bit of a simpler move using those same basic notes. So a little preview of what's to come. And now that we're back into our rhythm figure, we're going to do that over G for 2 bars. Before sliding in up to our 5 chord. Now this shape is really the same thing we were working with here in C7, so you probably already figured out that that's going to be D7, all right? And that's our 5 chord here. So what we're going to do is slide in, and we are going to change the rhythm of the picking a little bit. So we're sliding in. That's what's happening for the first part of this measure, okay? Nothing new there. We've got the same slide in, then roll through for the 4th string, and pluck the 3rd string, but we're holding it down at a different set of frets here. Back to the 4th string, back to the 5th string. Then, here's a cool little move. What we're gonna do is move the little finger off of the 4th string and let the pad of your ring finger just kind of lay over that string to mute it out. I want a dead note right there on my way to the 7th fret. So the little finger needs to move from string 4 to string 3. All right, now this, you might say, why put that in there? Well, you could leave it out and maybe let this ring over it instead of playing it, but to me, I think it kind of carries that rhythmic vibe, that rolling vibe that we're looking for. All right, then we're just going to go back and forth with the bass, 5th string. Walk down to the 5th fret there, then come back to the 7th fret, 4th string before open 3rd string. And now we're going to move back down to the 4 chord. Same picking as we did over the 5 chord here. So really just kind of up and then back through the chord. And here we're going to put that little ending. And that's the little mini lick that I told you could use in place of that flashy lick. And you don't really need to hold the chord here. What I'm going to do is play the C note, B flat, and then open 3rd string on our way to the F, on our way to the open 3rd string again. All right, and then there you're done with the 5 chord, 4 chord move, and then you're back into your G, your 1 chord. And a couple of bars of that will finish out the 12-bar progression. But what we're going to do is play through that slowly and kind of put all of these pieces together so that you can kind of hear it and feel it form a musical package. But before we do that, I want to say if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit a thumbs up if you dig this video and enjoy these lessons. That really helps me out. So I'm appealing to you. Hit that subscribe button and let me know you dig this stuff. And now let's get to a slow playthrough of this. do, cleaning up that speedy lick. I'm gonna work on that, and I want you to work on this entire 12 bar piece. All right, that's it for this lesson. Before you take off, pick up my guide, 5 essential fingerpicking exercises that'll really help you get the coordination down to nail pieces like what we just covered. All right, if you dig this, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and come on back here next Tuesday for another cool acoustic blues lesson. Until then, practice smart and play on.